Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to episode 201.
201.
Of the Calypso Cigar Review Podcast. For those of you that are confused, listen to all the other episodes, and you'll know.
Everyone tomorrow.
Yes, all of them at once.
And we will test you on Monday.
And you will have an eargasm because we're awesome. So, this is, yeah, it's a word. It is a thing, actually, an eargasm.
I agree.
It's a medical term.
Yeah.
Like, you can have an eargasm.
I'm having one right now.
Yeah. Well, my voice is so awesome, yeah. So, this is actually episode 200 because we've done 200 episodes of the show, but some of them have been minisodes and some have been
full episodes,
some have been quickies, whatever.
Yeah.
We're just calling every episode now an episode. So,
and this is 201.
201.
But
200.
I still got to do my falsetto, so I'm going to go
Okay.
201.
There you go.
Okay.
And today we're smoking today. Today. Oh my. Today we're smoking. It's from the Cult. I say the Cult. That sounds bad. It's from Cult Cigars. From that Cult, you know, the one with the Kool-Aid. Yeah. Cult Cigars. It's Blood Red Moon, and this is one of those pack of cigars. It's like 5 cigars. You can get it really cheap. It's like $12 to $15, and they are really tasty cigars that will get you through the day. They are horrible. They may be good. I have no idea. We're going to smoke it, and this is the new format. We're not really doing an episode where we're like talking about the whole cigar the whole time. Do we like it? Do we not like it?
Yeah.
That's the premise, basically.
Yeah.
So
would I smoke it again? Would I not smoke
Yes. So we're going to cut with the alternate. No, you say it because you're
Monte Cristo cigar scissor donated to us by the great
Eddie Gavito. He the sonito. He eats Cheetos.
And he lives in Mosquito.
But he doesn't live in Mosquito. It just rhymes with Cheetos and Eddie Gavito.
Yeah.
So this is one of those perfecto cool things that's got the open foot there, and the band is the band. There's no band. The top the head is closed. So you can do one of two things with this. Yeah, you can be like gnarly and just like chew it off, or you can cut it with some great scissors.
Yes.
And that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cut the head off here. How far do I go? You think?
Out there.
Right there. Freep. There you go. He's gonna do the same.
There we go. They sound a little crunchy.
Yeah, they do. Because they're kept in my humidor with all the crap that I don't care about.
But you brought it to the show, and that means a lot.
I have full disclosure. I have 2 humidors that I keep very well, and I keep my best stuff in there, and then I have a very large cooler that I keep other stuff in, which is also good stuff. And then I have one humidor that's kind of forgotten, and it's in the corner, and that's where my inexpensive stuff is. And this is an inexpensive cigar, so it's kept in that cooler, in that humidor. And unfortunately, I haven't been really keeping up that humidor, so these are probably pretty dry because that Bovita pack was like the desert. So
they did sound crunchy. Yeah,
they do sound crunchy. So you might not get the best burn. It's my fault because I wasn't taking care of that humidor, but it's also where I keep my, $1, $2 cigars. So, I think it's a good thing to have multiple humidors where you keep like your best stuff and your daily stuff, and maybe if you have any infused stuff, if you're into that, keep those somewhere separate because those will infect the rest of your cigars, like a virus of smelliness.
What he said.
Yes,
exactly.
You lit it? What do you think? You have cold draw at all?
We're not reviewing the cigar.
Cold draw is a little leathery and a little shoe footy.
You're reviewing the cigar.
I know, but I'm still gonna say it's a cigar and we're smoking it.
We can say certain elements. Like it's a tight draw. I got a very tight draw here.
Well, maybe cut more of the end off.
Well, let's give it a try and see what happens.
I don't even know do we do dates anymore? This is a weird thing because this is like totally new.
So that means we don't need Cigar to Eat and Eat anymore.
Yeah, if we can just cut him out of the show, which is awesome.
We apologize to Aaron and Emmett
for the last episode.
Yeah, they wound up having fun.
No, they had a good time. Those guys are a blast, man.
They're cool. I'm looking forward to hanging out with. I've met Aaron. I haven't met Emmett yet, so I'm looking forward to meeting Emmett.
I've met Emmett. I saw him at the show last year, and we had a good time. You got to hang out with the mermaid.
How do I word this? I'm looking forward to the show. It's going to be cool to see all my accounts and everything.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to when the show's not happening. When the show's over.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not going to get any sleep.
Talking about the end of the day of each
day?
Yes,
end of the day. When we're done with the show, we leave the freaking convention center.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have you and Nate and Emmett and Aaron and
all trying to go to parties.
People,
yeah.
And I'll be going to bed at 4:30 and getting to the booth at 6.
You've never done the show. So you don't know the
shows.
show.
But
you haven't done this show.
I know, but I've done shows.
This show.
And I'm thinking that the shows I've done.
Are they for other sales shows or whatever?
Yeah,
okay, so.
But this one's going to be those shows on steroids. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
So here's the deal.
I'm not going to get any sleep.
Day two,
no sleep.
Day 2, your palate will be blasted.
Yeah.
So whatever anybody gives you, just be like, thanks for giving it to me. Mm-hmm. And if you want to smoke it and taste it, you save it for later. If you want to smoke it and just smoke it, you smoke it now. Because the second day of the IPCPR show, you cannot taste jack shit unless you're taking care of your palate and you're doing things in between to kind of cleanse it, which, let's be honest, nobody does because we're men. No. You're not going to taste shit. So you're going to smoke way too many cigars. You're going to be at way too many parties. You're going to drink way too much booze, and you're going to get way little sleep. Mm-hmm. You're probably going to sleep in a 5-day span, 12 hours.
And I don't function on 12 hours of sleep.
You will function on 12 hours at that point.
That's what I'm dreading.
Yeah.
Everything else about the show I'm fine with. And even the partying is going to be fun. It's just when that alarm clock goes off or my phone rings for the wake-up call that I'm going to be cursing God and every person that he ever created.
Yeah, I agree. And I think there's certain things you can do. Like I did so last year with a different vendor, and it was probably about day 3 that I was like, I'm done. I can't go to the parties. I need some sleep. I'm the only one that's showing up at the booth on time, so I have to get some sleep.
Right.
And I had one guy that was with me that was like, yeah, I'm with you. Cool, let's do it. And we were a good team of guys that we left the parties at midnight. We went and had a good night's sleep. We got up, we made breakfast, and we went and did the show. But that's but then you hear all the stories like, oh man,
oh shit, I missed that.
Oh man, you should have been out. This happened, and Matt Booth did this crazy thing. It was awesome, and you're like, oh man, I missed it. So you gotta be prepared to miss things. Yeah. And you gotta be prepared to not make that big sale because you weren't there at that party where someone was waiting for you to make that big sale.
I'll go to the parties. It's just I'll probably drink too much Red Bull and my heart will explode.
The sales happen after the show floor. Yeah. That's the IPCPR. When you're making those connections, when you're drinking with those people, when you're having a good time, that's when you make your sales. So you have to be. Now, if you can, instead of eating during your lunch hour, take a nap. Might be a good idea. I did that. Just saying.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward. It's gonna be. It's too much. Thanks for what the hell was that?
Something came out of my mouth.
Ba-doop. That's what we say from now on when someone chokes on their smoke. Yeah, but it's a good time. I'm looking forward to being in New Orleans this year. Ba-doop. I'm looking forward to being in New Orleans because New Orleans is a blast. There's so much good food there. There's so many good times. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. What was that noise? I don't know. I have no idea.
We're old. We make noises now.
I make so many noises. Dude, I am supposed to use a CPAP when I go to sleep. Yeah, I know. And when I stay in a hotel, I wake myself up all the time.
Who was that?
Is there a fucking rhinoceros next door? What the hell is it? I'm banging on the walls.
I know we don't like to talk road life.
Okay.
Well, we don't like to talk rep life, but road life is fun to talk because there's a lot of people that know road life.
If you're in sales, you know road life, yeah.
Back-to-back hotels, I've blown out the air conditioning. I swear to God. That really nice one in Houston with the hardwoods and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to sleep with covers, so I want to be fucking cold because I think covers are comfortable.
Yeah.
They're even called comforters,
Well, yeah, some are.
So, and they always have these great ones in these hotels. So
sometimes, yes.
I can't. Yeah, well, most of them.
Yeah.
But there's some really good, nice, comfortable bedspreads and stuff, blankets. Well, if I slept with one at 70 degrees, I would wake up in a pool of sweat.
Yeah.
So I crank the AC to like 61.
Wow.
When I get in the room.
Oh, wow.
Well, the first particular room, it was a really thick comforter. So I put it at 59 because 61 wasn't even enough. I was sweating at 61. Oh, God. So I wake up at like 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I thought I wet the bed. I swear to God, I thought I'd wet the bed. I was
sweating.
Drenched. The bed was soaking wet. The comforter was soaking wet. And I'm like, why is the fucking heat on? So I jerked the thing over, and I go, and it was blowing hot air. Not just lukewarm air, nothing. No, fucking heater air. So I go to the thermostat, and it's on cool, and it's set at the thermostat, the temperature I set it at, but it's showing 84 degrees in the room.
Oh, wow.
So I called down to the front desk. Because, I wasn't going to get up till like 8:30. I had another 4 hours of sleep or something. So I'm like, I can't sleep in this shit. So I called down to the front desk, and they moved me right across the hall. It didn't take me long to move all my shit. Because it's a short trip. It's only a two-day trip, so I didn't have much stuff with me. Went over there, turned the AC on, and went to sleep. Okay, that was my last day of that trip. Last week in Amarillo. I did the same thing. Wake up at 3. What the fuck?
You are a killer of AC.
I kill ACs.
Don't do that.
But it's comfortable when everything works. Man, I sleep like a rock.
I'm the opposite, cold. Man. I just
sleep cold.
I put it on like 68, and I throw the covers off. I just have the sheet, and that's it. I'm good. That's all I do.
To sleep under a comforter.
I don't like sleep under comfortable. No, I even at home, I'm just a sheet guy.
Yeah,
so
but if it's cold and then you got to.
I like a sheet. I don't get cold. I'm Mexican. I'm just hot all the time. I'm always sweating. So yeah, for me, it's just a sheet, and that's it. And I love it when hotels are doing this now, where they have we have the soft ones up front and the firm ones up back. So
and
you
they
have
put that stupid sign and where has that sign been? Because if someone walks in, the first thing they do is throw that fucking thing on the floor, and then they're going to put it right back on your bed, and you're going to sleep on this thing that's been sitting on the floor for all day.
Yeah, okay, you want to be a germaphobe, that's fine.
I hate people.
I like, because the soft ones, I like to just shove it under my head and just make it like a tube, and it's awesome. Mm-hmm. And then the firm ones, I'll put all around me.
I do the opposite. The soft one. The firm one's on the bottom. Yeah. Soft one's my prop up against the.
I have like a line of. I always get the two bed room because I want to use all the pillows. I'm a pillow whore. I have to have like 4 or 5 pillows in the bed. So
they make it hot too.
Well, no, but I put the pillows on the side of me, so it keeps me in one spot. I put the one pillow behind my head and one over my head.
You've got a lane.
I have a lane in the middle of the bed, but then I wake up I'll spread out like this, so whatever. But yeah, I really do like sleeping in hotels. It's so much nicer than being home because I've got a queen bed and it's I'm jammed over in the corner. Yeah, well, she likes to freaking spread out, so we're always fighting over bed space. Yeah. I told her we need to get rid of that bed and get a king size because we need the space. When you get older, get a king size bed. You need the space, especially if you're married. Even if you're not married, just king size is awesome. You're like, woohoo, I'm a star. It's awesome.
I hate the double bedroom.
Yeah.
I just hate it. I don't know why. Because my mind's like, well, which one of us?
Especially if I'm staying in for more than one night, I'm going to sleep in both those motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck.
You're gonna
which
use
one?
Both.
I'll use both. I'll get them all fucked up and then come clean my shit.
Thanks, mate. For cleaning that shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Comfort Inn's probably not happy with me.
Because you break their AC?
I break their AC. God. Dude, 84 degrees in the middle of the night.
That's horrible.
Oh, God.
The last one I went to that I told you that actually was good for the smoking room, I walked into the smoking room, and it was stagnant air. It was hot as hell in there. I'm like, oh, this is hot. But it didn't smell like smoke. I'm like, okay, at least it doesn't smell like smoke. And I turned, and the AC was completely off. It was 80-something degrees in that room. So I turned the AC on. Luckily, I was going somewhere. So I turned it on 68 and left and came back, and it was nice and cool, so that was fine. Right. But I hate don't turn the AC off if no one's in the room. Leave the AC on.
Even in the winter, because a lot of people have had their heaters on in their car all day, and they're hot. Mm-hmm. They want to walk in and have something cool. If they want to turn it off, then...
And I've been in several hotels where the refrigerator's off. That pisses me off.
90% of the hotel rooms.
That pisses me off because I have water with me. I put them in there. I want to be cold in the morning. It's horrible.
Several times I've had to plug the refrigerator in. It's not even plugged in.
Dick bags. Yeah. That's horrible. Fuck you, hotels. Do your job
and quit doing the fucking hook. Fucking hangers. Do the real hangers.
Yeah, real hangers.
That you can pick up.
Yes, that's why I like that. That one, dude. I tell you, every time I go to Nebraska, I'm staying at that one hotel. It was awesome. It was like staying in an apartment. Yeah. It was 2 stories, had a bed upstairs and a bed downstairs. I stayed in both beds, and 2 bathrooms, a full kitchen. Yeah, it was awesome. Freaking gas fireplace. I put the gas fireplace on. I'm watching TV. It was awesome. I hooked up my laptp and watching the movies. It was badass. Fell asleep watching Two Guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You ever done the where you just want the fire for ambiance or romance or something? And crank down the AC because it's 60 degrees outside, but you want fire. So
exactly.
You crank down the AC.
You want fire, but you don't want the heat from the fire. You just want the cool, yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, that's a nice hotel. Very nice hotel.
Yeah, that one in
Nebraska.
Find the address for that one in Houston is it's like hardwood floors, man. It was badass. And they actually had the happy hour. Yeah. Now, it wasn't liquor, but it was beer and wine.
Yeah.
And they'd order
that's fine.
And it was
that's
5
fine.
to 7. I was like, hell yeah.
Mine, the freaking bar was closed, bitches, bastards.
Sucks.
So, let me ask you this.
Take care, Dobie. And they had the regular. It was like a little store in there. I mean, they had like shitloads of stuff that you could buy.
Yeah.
Heat in your microwave or.
Yeah, they have, a lot of them have that. Yeah.
Yeah, but this one was nice.
Nice. Okay.
And they had a lot of nice, stofers and.
Oh,
like
cool.
That. It was really cool.
It's like $12 for a stofers, probably.
Well, it's reasonable. Like $6.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not great, but it's not.
It's not bad.
You don't want to leave your hotel. I mean, I'm one of those guys that if I'm going to go out and do something that night and party and all that kind of stuff, don't let me go home first, and let me go to the hotel, because once I'm there, I'm done. I don't want to leave.
See, I do that. I'll go to the hotel and dump my shit because I'm weird about leaving that stuff when I go party. I don't like having all my cigars in the car, and then someone might break in and steal shit. So I take it to the hotel and then I go out.
Well, yeah, we all protect our stuff, but but once I'm
now,
there,
if I take it to the hotel and I take a shower, I'm done.
I mean,
I'm staying in at that point.
Yeah, I don't. So if I'm in town and I'm getting some people like, hey, let's go meet at 9. Well, I'll come to Calypso or come to some other cigar shop or a bar or something just to hang out till time to go hang out. Because if I go home and my shoes leave my feet, you ain't getting me out of that room. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Like,
are you weird about carpet in the hotels? Like
yes.
I take sandals with me and I put sandals on, or I have socks.
I keep the socks by my bed.
That creeps me out. I don't like.
And I don't like stepping on that cold floor in the bathroom.
I really don't like being barefoot in the tub. I'm weird. Yeah. I do it, but when I first started staying in hotels, what I would do, I would take one of those. They always have that towel that they put down for the floor, and then they have the hand towels. I take the hand towel and put it in the shower and stand on that when I showered because I didn't want to get whatever fungus feet or whatever the fuck it is,
Athlete's foot.
I didn't want to get athlete's foot, but now I stopped doing that. But I always have my sandals. I put them on the.
First thing I walk in while I have my shoes on.
Yeah.
I lay towels all over the fucking bathroom floor.
Yeah.
Because I don't like stepping on.
We're such germaphobes. We're such
that cold floor, because they're all granite floors now and stuff. It's cold. But yeah, I keep socks by my bed. So
I sleep in socks, I sleep in underwear, and I sleep in shorts. But they're they're comfortable, just little pull-on, zip-tie. The ones you have workout shorts, basically. I sleep in those just in case there's a fire and I have to leave, quickly. I'm not in my underwear. That's basically my reasoning for that.
And I do that's why I want you to go back to the regular hook hangers like that. Because you can't travel and keep your clothes pressed. Even if you just got them out of the dry cleaners, they're not going to. So you have to do this hot shower.
I love my company shirts. There's 2 shirts. We have the button down, which I don't like because they're button down. They look really nice, but you have to iron them. You can wash and wear sometimes, but for the most part they get wrinkled. But the other ones we have are like the golf shirts, but they're that material that doesn't wrinkle. So I can bundle up and whatever, and I just put them in the shower. I'll put the shower on hot, put them on a hanger, and just go for like 10 minutes and go in there, and then they're perfectly pressed. I'm good. So those I love. But yeah, I understand what you mean. Like I've had to iron shirts. I hate that in the hotel.
Yeah, I hate that because I get up in the morning, I gotta go see stores. The fucking continental breakfast is over at 9, so I gotta fucking get down there in order to eat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hotel life sucks.
Hotel life does kind of suck, but it's also kind of cool. I mean, you get your own space, you get to do what you want.
And it doesn't matter. We'll tell this in the next segment because we have a little entertainment news about somebody that I've talked about a bunch on the show.
Okay.
So we'll hold this till the next segment.
Okay. But you were saying?
Oh, I was going to tell the next one.
Oh, okay. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back for the second third of the Blood Red Moon from Cult. What do you think so far?
For what it is, it's tasty.
Yeah, it's tasty. Kind of like, it's like a milder J Fuego.
The origins.
Yeah. Yep. And it's in that price point too, so it's good. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. Holding ash nicely too.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, we're back for the second third of the show, and we're smoking the Blood Red Moon from Cult. It's a great budget smoke. Tasty, tasty.
Yeah.
So you were saying your entertainment news.
We're talking about hotel, and I'm going to segue into the entertainment news. But it doesn't matter if you're on our budget, where and you're in the $80 to $140 night, hotel.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's my story? Everyone knows Everyone knows I'm a Barry Manilow fan. I've been a fan of his for a long time. My mom even named my brother Barry because of him. So
that's cool.
And he was trending the other day. I found out why he was trending. He got married. He finally came out of the closet.
Oh, he married a dude.
Married a dude.
Wow.
Married his manager for like 20-something years. Yeah.
Way to go,
and
Barry.
He's never addressed his sexuality, and people ask him. He's never said anything. People kind of suspected.
Yeah, I suspect.
So he did. And good for him. We joke about stuff, but I'm the least homophobic person.
Yeah,
on the
me
planet.
too.
I don't care.
Marry whoever you want.
It's so hard to find
care.
someone that loves you and you
if
love.
If you find someone you love, it's awesome. That's awesome.
Just cool.
You find your soulmate. Doesn't matter what they look like, who they are, if they're male or female. Marry your soulmate. You're going to have the best time of your life for the rest of your life, and that's what you want.
Yes. And that's not a popular opinion, but that's our opinion. And I'm cool with
exactly.
That.
And gay people, you have just as much right to lose half your shit as all the straight people.
Exactly. And he was saying, he was being interviewed about this being his last tour, and he said, it's not going to be my last tour. I'll still do shows, but it won't be weeks on the road. It'll be a show here, a show here. So,
we need to go see him.
And he said,
I told my wife about that. She's like, we're going to Barry Manilow. I'm like, fuck yeah, we are. So we'll go.
We need to find a show and go to it.
That's a blast.
And he was saying, he goes, once I'm doing the show, and it sounded like us, what we talked about. He goes, when I'm doing the show, everything's great. He goes, but it's the travel, the hotel rooms, and he's not staying in the hotel rooms we're staying in.
He's staying in the fucking penthouse.
Stores,
he's staying in the fucking. He's like,
and he's even bitching about.
He's
hotels.
like, I need a live tiger, I need Vitamix, and I have to have a personal chef. And personal chef's Mexican. Well, then I got to stay at this other place.
Exactly. Yeah, he's staying in the best of the best, and he's even like
bitching about it. Yeah,
that he doesn't want to be on the road anymore. It's the hotels. They just get to you.
They do. I mean, it's fun to a point, but it also breaks your soul a little bit when you're not. For me, it's once I know I've been in a city enough times where I know hotels I want to stay at, I'm usually pretty okay. But it's the guesswork. It's is this hotel going to be good enough for me to stay in?
Yeah.
Am I going to fucking hate this night? Because there's no way. If you walk into a hotel room and it's like ugly and dirty and smelly, and you don't want to, and you're just not going to sleep well.
No,
you're not going to sleep well. It's going to affect the next day. You're going to be like, I fucking slept like shit.
Bad, and what does the kitchen look like?
Exactly. Yeah.
Breakfast in,
and I've had those nights, and it's like every time I decide, like, well, I'm going to save a little money and go here because the reviews it's a 3-star, and they're saying it's 4. I'll stay there. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. We both had a couple of experiences where it was just like, the worst I have. I was working for Tandberg, and I was installing video conference systems. I went to New York, and I stayed in this hotel because it was inexpensive and it was on the Times Square. I want to see Times Square. I got to stay on Times Square. I got to see this place. So I stayed on Times Square, and the first night I stayed at this hotel, she's like, oh, well, the room the room you had wasn't available, so we're going to upgrade you. I'm like, sweet. So I got like the first night in New York, I stayed in New York. I was in a fucking suite with 2 bedrooms. I had a fucking, couch with a TV. It was I'm like, this is fucking awesome, I went down to Times Square, had a blast. I was having a good time. Second time I stayed there, I went to Connecticut for a day, came back to New York. I'm going to stay in that same hotel. It was awesome. Okay, well, you have your room this time, so here's your room. Get in the room. It is a closet with a bed. It was like the bed is like you could sit in the bed and brush your teeth at the same. It was a closet. It was horrible. It was
you could watch TV
horrible
and brush your teeth and
at the same time. It was literally a closet. It was horrible. And I mean, the windows were like right by the, so you have these lights just jetting. If anybody's in the building next to you, which they're like, you could reach in and hand them something.
Yeah.
It was like lights would jet in. You're like, ah. It was horrible. And then you get to the hall.
Here.
Exactly. It was just like that. I saw man boobs like I never wanted to see before. And you step out into the hallway and you're waiting for the elevator and you're sitting there waiting for the elevator and something catches your eye and you're like, what the fuck is that? And you look down, there's like a string of rats just walking down the hallway. I'm like, oh. And then this lady walks out of her hotel room with the dog. She had like a bull mastiff. It's a huge dog. And it's just walking. Doesn't even look at the rats, doesn't react, nothing. She gets to the elevator with me. I'm like, your dog didn't even go after the rat. She's like, oh, I live here. I'm like, you live here? She's like, it's a hotel, plus the people live here. I'm like, okay. Like, there was just rats right there. She's like, oh, yeah, they live here. It's no big deal. I'm like, it's no big deal.
Rats.
Like, those are rats.
They've got more disease.
I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, you come to accept it. She's like, you're just visiting, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm in a closet with a bed and brushing my teeth when I'm sitting in it. She's like, yeah.
Did it have a Murphy bed?
It was horrible. It probably was. I don't know, but it was horrible. So, I mean, that's just, when you get those.
Yeah.
I mean, the second day in that hotel, I was like worried that rats were crawling on me. I didn't sleep for shit. It was horrible.
Well, my cousin and I were in our early 20s. This is like 91, 92. And we're driving to Seattle. We did that where you drive someone else's car, like they moved to another city and you car delivery.
Yeah.
And we wanted to go to Seattle, and the closest thing that we could stop at was Portland, Oregon. And so we dropped off the car there, and we were going to go up to Seattle the next day. So we're like, what's a good hotel around here? Like, well, this time of night, you're not going to find a good hotel. He goes, but this such and such hotel in downtown Portland it's okay. He goes, but I haven't been there in a long time. This was the guy that we had dropped off the car. We walk into there, and it is a sty. I mean, it is a dump beyond dumps. And it was like $90 a night in the early 90s.
Yeah.
You know? And my cousin, he didn't give a shit. He just jumps on his bed and, turns on the TV. And I'm looking at my, first thing I do is rip off the bedspread. Throw that fucker in the corner, get that shit off. There were semen stains all over the sheets and pillowcases.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not sleeping here. My cousin, I'll see if they'll get us new bedding. Get you new bedding. I don't want to change rooms. Fuck. So I go downstairs go down to the lobby. I have semen stains on my bedspread, sheets, blanket, and pillowcases. I do not understand. Sorry, that's what he said. I'm like, semen stains.
Spooge.
He's like, cum. I have fucking cum on my bed. Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like, oh, you have a good time, huh?
And it's not for me.
Oh, you don't have good time, bad time.
So he brought me new sheets and everything, and I'm sitting there, I'm sleeping like this. Slept full clothes. Cousin gets up in the morning and goes, you taking a shower? No.
I've done that, dude. When I have a hotel I'm not comfortable with, I'll either ask for a room change and then you change the room and it's still not any better.
Right.
I'm just I'll wear a shirt and shorts and I'll socks. I'm pretty much fully clothed when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
And it's never a good night's sleep.
No, it sucks.
Never a good night's sleep.
No.
Yeah.
And then there's this hotel in New Orleans, or it's Metairie. It's outside of New Orleans. That I had to stay there 3 straight nights. There was a freaking mold wet stain above the bed. Above the freaking bed.
Wow.
And so I tried to get in there. Oh, we're booked, sir. It's it's about to be Mardi Gras, So there was a liquor store across the street. Thank God. And I wasn't even that big a drinker back then. I had to plow through a 5th of Jim Beam every night just to fall asleep under that room.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what's going to fall through? What kind of mold disease am I going to get from this stain? It's like, oh my God. Yeah, nothing worse than a bad hotel room.
Yeah, nothing worse, man. It's awful.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you ever had fucking cum stains?
I have had fucking. I didn't tell you about this. When I was in Amarillo, this is great. So I was in Amarillo. Nice hotel, by the way. It was a nice hotel. But I was like, they have the windows, they have those little sheer windows, and then they have the other ones, and then they have the ones you can pull to make it dark, right?
The blinds.
Yeah, the blinds. They have the curtains or whatever. The sheer curtains, and then they have the other curtains you can close to make it dark. Yeah, I want to make it dark. So I go to the sheer curtains, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of a cool view here. I got the city and whatever. So I open the sheer curtains, and I see on the glass 2 handprints and a pair of tits. And then jizz all over the bottom of the window.
In Amarillo?
In Amarillo. And it was on the AC unit.
Oh, God.
And it was blowing, and there's this little thing just going.
Oh, no, it was fresh.
It wasn't fresh. It was already dry, but there was still something kind of blowing a little. I'm like, I just kind of did one of those. Right? Yeah, I was like, I need a different room. She's like, oh, what's wrong? I'm like, well, let's just say someone was very active in this room and there's something all over the AC unit. She's like, oh, okay. Well, we'll get you a different room. I'm like, yeah, you will. She's like, it's going to be about 4 hours. I'm like, I'm going to go run some errands and I'll come back. So that's when I went.
Big Texan and eat the 72-ounce steak.
Exactly. I was like,
Did you see? I don't know about your hotel room.
Yeah.
My hotel room had brochures.
Yeah, for that.
Free limo service.
Free limo service, yeah. Yep.
I almost did it, but I was tired.
Yeah.
I was tired.
I did that before. When I went there for my mom. My mom had eye surgery there, and
at the Big Texan.
No,
yeah.
They put
72-ounce steak and eye surgery.
There you go. All in one ticket. It's great. No, but I went there to do her eye surgery, and there was that limo service there, and we were staying, in different rooms or whatever. And I was like, I'm going to the Big Texan. She's like, yeah. Without me? I'm like, well, there's a free limo service. She's like, I get to ride the limo? Like, yeah, let's go eat the big. I was like, cool. So we went to the Big Texan. We didn't eat the 72-ounce steak. We had dinner, and it was all right. It wasn't great.
It's okay. As far as I remember, we went there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was like 13 or 14. We went there.
Yeah.
And I almost went this time, but I had that car situation. Where
Yeah,
I
you did.
Pulled my bumper off my car by, those low-hanging or those high curbs, and I've got a low-hanging car.
Yeah.
And I just went a little too far. And
Then
when I realized it backed up, rip. So I didn't want to drive. And there was an Outback Steakhouse like literally 40 feet from where I was standing, so I just went there. But that's when I found out. I ate at Outback, come back upstairs, and free limo service does big tax. And I'm like, oh, man. I know it's not good, but I would have liked to.
You don't have Nebraska, do you?
No.
Okay, so in Nebraska, there's a place called Village Inn. It's a Denny's-type IHOP-style restaurant. Has, breakfast, lunch, dinner. They serve everything. Breakfast all day. And it was right next to a store that I was going to, but the store didn't open until 10. I got there at like 9. I'm like, oh. And this was the shitty situation because like Lincoln and Omaha are real close to each other. I scheduled an appointment for 9 o'clock.
Not as close as I thought.
They're an hour and a half.
I didn't think they were that far.
And I scheduled an appointment for 9 o'clock meeting, but unfortunately there's a shop called Ted's in Omaha and Lincoln. I scheduled the appointment for Omaha thinking it was Omaha, but it was actually Lincoln. I'm like, crap. So I get there at 9. I'm knocking and no one's there. I'm like, oh. I call, no one answers. I'm like, shit. So I go to the Village Inn, eat breakfast. And the best breakfast I've had in a long time. The eggs were cooked perfectly. The hash browns were perfect. And I mean, there's
crunchy, or do you like
there's
them?
several different kinds of hash browns, and I like there's like the McDonald's ones that are the little weird square things.
I hate that.
There's the other ones that are like just real flat and they're like crispy, and then there's the ones that are like crispy on the top but like not crispy in the middle, but they're still cooked. And that's hard to get because usually it's crispy on the top and like raw in the middle. That's what you get a lot of times. These are crispy on the top, perfectly cooked. I was like, oh, and I turned it over. It's crispy on the bottom. I'm like, these are the best hash browns I've ever had. I'm like having a freaking foodgasm. I'm like, oh, and it was great. The pancakes were awesome. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. So I was like, these are the best hash browns I've ever had. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm going to tell a chef. I'm like, you do that. So chef came out. And he's like, hey, you like my hash browns? I'm like, dude, how'd you do that? Because I've tried to do these at home and I don't, I'm not as successful. So he told me how to do perfect hash browns, and this is how you do it. You get the potato and you shred it. Now, when you shred a potato, it looks really gray and funky looking. You take it, you put it under cold water, and you rinse it until it's bright white, until it's like really bright white. Now, they take it and they blanch it in hot water for like 2 minutes. Then they take it and they cook it on the skillet with butter and oil and stuff, and that's where you get that cool crispiness on both sides, but it's cooked in the middle.
Nice.
That's what they do.
Nice.
And it was awesome.
Nice.
And it was great that he came out and told me, and
that's cool.
part of the I'm like, God, I wish I'd videotape this. I need to start doing like road trip stuff, where
Right.
because that's cool stuff,
Yeah.
And they had pie there, and the guy was like, we make the best pies in the world. I'm like, yeah, I'm good with
House of Pies.
Yeah, I'm like, he's like, I'm good with that. He's like, nope. And he's like, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a free piece of pie. What do you want? I'm like, I don't know. Chocolate cream be good. He's like, okay, boom. So he brought me a piece of chocolate. It was fucking awesome. I'm like, this is really good fucking pie.
So there goes your diet.
Yeah, there goes my diet. Yeah, it was done.
We had a good. I can't remember the place, but when we were on our way back from our Corpus trip.
Yeah.
And we stayed in that same hotel
in San Antonio.
What's the name of that restaurant we stayed at?
Jim's.
Yeah,
Jim's.
Not good breakfast.
Yeah, really good
because
breakfast.
I'm an over medium egg guy. I want the yellow to be runny. Doesn't have to be majorly runny, but I do want it to be runny.
Yeah.
But the white had better be fucking done.
There's no hincum. Yeah.
Yeah. And they nailed it.
Yeah.
And it was a good deal. It was like
it was
like,
cheap.
It
Yeah.
was ham, bacon, sausage, 2
and
eggs.
Yeah.
And either biscuits and gravy or hash browns. And I got biscuits and gravy. You got the hash browns, and it's like $8 a piece.
Yeah, it was
like,
good. Yeah.
Freaking flat.
Very good. Yeah. But I even asked the guy, I was like, Village Inn, you guys anywhere? Because this is a chain. He's like, yeah, we used to be in Texas. We used to be in Austin, but we closed down. They didn't do well there.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, they were all over the place over there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to eat there all the time. It was really
you weigh
good.
like 900 pounds.
Yeah, and then I went to go to the meeting. He's like, yeah, he's in Omaha. I'm like, what? So I called him up. I'm like, I'm at the wrong shop. He's like, ha, ha, ha. I'm like, I'll go see you later. So I had to go to Omaha and meet him. But
my ex-wife has a Nebraska connection. Actually, her maternal grandparents were in Omaha, and he was the head cattle buyer for Swift. Remember Swift Grocers?
Yeah.
He was the head cattle buyer for it. So she grew up. They'd go visit Nebraska all the time, and he'd take her to the slaughterhouse.
I saw. Speaking of weird names for stores, I saw the weirdest gas place in the world over there. Come and Go, spelled K-U-M and go. I was like, is that a K-U-M?
Okay. There's one on the way back from. I didn't notice it on my way to Amarillo, even though I came the same way.
Yeah.
What was it called? Shit, it was like get it and go, but it was more clever than that. But that was basically grab it and get. That's what it was called. Grab it and get, or something like that.
This one was just come and go, and I'm like, is that a whorehouse? Just real quick, you get in there, you get your gas, you get the fuck out, you get your willies.
That's kind of a.
I don't know if that. I don't know what it was called.
They've changed owners, so
I don't know.
It's a different store, but.
I don't know. I have to find out.
I'd have to find.
Yeah, to find out what it's called. I'll go next time. But yeah, come and go just made me crack up.
Come and go's awesome.
So I had to get gas there. At the come and go. There's another one called You Stop. Like, you stop.
Stop.
Like, wow.
Yeah, it's
kind of demanding.
Yeah, it's funny. We pass through these little towns and stuff, and you'll see these restaurants, and you're like, well, damn, I wish I hadn't eaten. That looked like a cool place to go to. I'll think of this the next time. And you won't. That'll never cross your mind.
Yeah.
But you see these tiny, tiny towns, and they've got this restaurant, and you can tell the restaurant's been there forever, and it's like that was like the only place to go for these people.
Yep.
And then you see like a Taco Bell or a Wendy's and stuff. It's like, but they stayed in business even though they're having to fight Taco Bell and Wendy's. That's kind of cool. It's really cool.
It is cool. I've gone to a couple of those. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're not good. Yeah. Sometimes they're really not good.
They're not good. What do you think?
Just depends. It's good stuff, man.
Nice.
It's good stuff. I dig it.
Oh man, life on the road is hard.
Life on the hardest road.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
But it's fun in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. It's really fun in a lot of ways.
It's really great meeting all the people, and we've said it before, and I'll say it again. There's really carbon copies of people as you travel on the road. There's always the one guy that goes there every day and smokes the same thing, and there's the one guy that's like knows everything about internet stuff, and there's the one guy it's like you really see the same people as you go.
And the owners are so different and yet the same.
Yeah. Well, there's
you'll get the real quiet, down to, just really laid back guy that's had his business forever. How you doing and stuff, and then you'll have the real aggressive go-getter guys. Yeah, I saw this was on the list. This is on the top 25, and this is here, and yeah, I want that cigar. Or, and they're like real aggressive. But when you get to sit and talk to them, they're all the same person.
Yeah,
just different personalities, but they're just
really. Most of them are really passionate about cigars, and they like the fact that, and they say the same thing. They say, I smoke cigars and drink for a living. This is awesome, and I'm making a living at it. That's cool, so. That's a cool. Damn cool thing to be able to do.
Awesome.
You got to imagine those guys live a long, long life because there's low stress. They're happy. They have a good time when they go to work. And you talk to all the people that work at the shops too. It's like, yeah, man, I used to be a lawyer. I used to be with this, and I'm just like sitting here and smoke cigars, hang out, and it's a good time.
That's what I did, man. I took so big a pay cut to come work here at Calypso. It's such a huge pay cut.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get into the industry, and I was single, and I didn't require a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I can do this.
It really goes back to, fundamental things. It's like, as a human being, you can do one of two things. You can strive, do better, and be the best that you can be, and be 9 times out of 10 miserable in that function.
Yeah.
Or you can find out what makes you happy and do that and be happy. And I think it's really about being happy. It's like, what are the minimum things you can have to be a happy person with a good life, surrounded by people that you love, and be happy when you die.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a while for people to figure that out. And when you're in your 20s, you're all about like, I'm going to be this and do that. And I'm going to do these great things and blah, blah, blah. And, some people will achieve and do that, and I think there's a lot of fear involved in wanting those things and going for those things.
Yeah, there's a difference between wanting them, but you have the tenacity and drive
to actually go out and get those, yeah.
And, but if, you're happy, and it wasn't like I was being complacent, even though a lot of people thought I was just being complacent working here. I wasn't. I had dreams and ambitions and things I wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be under that corporate microscope on my head all day long, even though I was making 5 times more than what I was making here,
Yeah.
And not that every day here was great, but it was pretty stress-free.
Yeah.
It was come in, shoot the shit with people,
Yeah.
Fill up some cigar boxes when they get empty,
and the people out there that make a difference, I think, I don't really think individuals make a difference in society as a whole. Maybe there are some people like the guy that invented the light bulb and whatnot, but for the most part, it's all about finding your happy medium. It's like finding what makes you happy and being surrounded by the people that you love, doing things that you love, and you'll have a good life. And I really think that happiness is a choice.
Yeah.
It really is a choice. It's
Oh yeah. I could have gone to bed every night thinking, "Holy shit, I'm making this when I used to make this."
And be miserable.
And but I was like, No, I'm gonna go hang out and smoke cigars tomorrow and get paid for it. And,
Yep, meet a bunch of cool people and
hopefully
make some friends, maybe. Yeah,
and hopefully it'll lead to me getting a rep job someday. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I could have been. I could have totally been.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just about it's a choice.
It is very much happiness is very much choice.
Yeah.
And we'll get into more of that when we get back for the last third of the smoke that we're doing, which is the
Cigars lasted a long time.
It had for a little bitty smoke. Yeah, I mean we're looking at almost an hour on this thing. Really, it is the Colt Blood Red Moon. We'll be back. And we're back for the final third of the Colt Blood Red Moon. And we're just talking about stuff.
And you
life in general.
Voice. You went to a totally different tone of voice.
I did. We're down low. We're right here, baby. Oh, yeah.
This is a bit that we're going
to No, not really. So I think happiness is a choice for most people. But I think some people, have mental issues and it's not a choice. But yeah,
when this is going to sound mean, but let me finish the whole thing. When I look back on my dad's life.
You're a dick. Okay, go ahead.
Look back on my dad's life, and I'm like, God, he had a horrible life.
Yeah.
He had all these dreams and nothing happened, He loved my mom. They wound up getting divorced, and, he's having to work 3 jobs just to stay alive and shit like that. 'Cause, he didn't have any skills, really. He always called himself a jack of all trades and
master of none.
Yeah. And, I mean, he could do just enough of something, but he wasn't good at anything as far as from an expert standpoint. And he's working 2 and 3 jobs, dies at 51. It's like, what a shitty fucking life. But I rarely saw my dad sad.
Mm-hmm.
I rarely saw him sad.
Yeah.
Now, of course, he could have hidden it from us, but my dad was always the life of the party. Even though he didn't drink, he'd have people cracking up. He would tell jokes. He was witty. He was fun. He was a big guy.
Yeah.
And you remember Rerun on What's Happening?
Yeah.
My dad was that good a dancer. He was like, we were a big fat guy, but he was a hell of a fucking dancer.
Nice.
And I was like, why didn't I get any of those dance moves? He was awesome.
You're doing the white man's overbite.
Yeah, exactly. And he could sing,
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, he didn't think he had a shitty life. So why it's wrong of me probably to think that he had a shitty life.
Yeah.
Wasn't a life that I would have wanted to have lived, even though we do have certain parallels.
Yeah.
But still. But, I guess he just chose to be happy instead of wallowing.
That's funny because I'm going to blow the curtain up a little bit here. I had a conversation with my dad the other day, which was pretty interesting. Because my mom and dad, they were together for all my childhood, and they recently got separated, getting divorced after 41 years of marriage or whatever. And, no, more than that, 46 years of marriage because I'm 44. So, and he told me, he's like, man, I'm just really sorry, that I wasn't more of a dad for you and that I didn't really deliver. And, it makes my heart sore to see how you are with your kids and you're such a good dad. And, I feel like I didn't have anything to do with that. And I was like, stop. Yeah. I'm like, dude, stop. I was like, look, I had a blast as a kid. I had a great childhood because you were there for me when I needed you. I never had a period of my time where I was like, you know what, he wasn't there for me and he didn't help me. We had things in common. We watched the same TV shows. We listened to the same music. We had a blast. And mom was there for me. And I had a really good. I don't have anything in my childhood that was like. I had maybe a couple of dark moments.
Well, we all do.
Everybody has dark moments, but for the most part, my memories of my childhood are very good, and that translated to me being a father and being the father for my kids. So you made me the father that I am. So any success that I have is because of you. And he was like crying and shit. He's like, damn, that made me feel so good. As I can't believe you said that. I'm like, no, that's true. I mean,
and obviously we believe it. I know how close. I mean, I know how much you love your dad.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah,
and that's awesome.
Yeah,
and I don't know why this story popped in my head, but it did. But I don't even know if I want to. I'll tell it.
Yeah, tell it.
Okay. One of my name droppers, Kevin Costner, was on Oprah, I think it was.
And thank you for joining the show today. We were done.
It was a great story.
Okay, go ahead.
He'd made it. It was like right after Dances with Wolves had hit, and so he was set, perfectly. And his mom and dad had come out to stay with him in California, and so he was taking a shower and got out of the shower. And his dad's sitting on the toilet or something like that. This is how I remember the story going.
Yeah.
And he was like really sad. And I was like, what are you doing in here? And he's like, did you ever want for anything as a kid? He said that like devastated him. He was like that his dad thought about that, and he was like, no. He's like, no, you were a great dad. He said you let me play ball, you let me shoot guns, you let me, do exploring and stuff. He's like, why would you ask me that? He just said, I just want to make sure. And I thought, yeah, that was just a touching,
it's
just
cool.
a good dad story,
Yeah.
That's what makes dads cool.
Yeah.
And our dad was that way. My dad cried all the
time. Really?
Oh, he'd break down over it. But it was good crying. It wasn't like sad crying. It was just, he'd watch a Hallmark commercial and he'd be seeing him wiping tears and stuff.
Your dad was a pussy. No, just kidding.
No, he was. Kidding. And, and I find as I get older, I do the same fucking thing. Yeah. I watch something stupid, all of a sudden I'm like, why am I crying? Stop it. What the hell is going on with me? Yeah. But, you love your kids. Good parents love you. I saw someone posted, I don't know who it was some Facebook friend, a couple of Father's Days ago, said, Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there who try. And I was like, great. Instead of making it all inclusive, because not all fathers deserve to have a happy Father's Day.
Yeah, some fathers are bastards. Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing, is all you can do is try and try and give your kids the same, childhood that you had, or maybe a little bit better. Yeah, that you wanted. Yeah, exactly.
Because
hold the nice ass too.
It is. None of us had the exact childhood we wanted.
No. I mean, if I could have everything I ever wanted, that'd be great, but I'd probably be a total dick by now. I think it's, you build character as a child based on what you have and what you don't have, and how you view what you don't have. I really, I was lucky enough to have a grandfather that was pretty well off, that gave me the toys that I wanted that my parents couldn't give me. And my dad always, and it was funny because he would do this. My grandfather would buy me stuff that he had to put together, cause like, haha, have fun with that, motherfucker, you fucked me over by marrying my daughter, so I'm going to give you some shit you have to put together, and that happens. But, I had a great childhood filled with great people, and, it made me who I am today.
It does. And, if I could go back and see W-2 statements from what my dad made, because my mom rarely worked, but and then think about all the stuff I had, I probably would be shocked.
Yeah.
Because I remember, this is late 70s, early 80s. They had 3 kids to provide for. I don't remember ever being hungry.
Yeah.
You always had 3 meals a day.
Yeah, me too.
And at Christmas, my parents would probably spend $400 or $500 on the 3 of us, not a piece.
Yeah.
But, $400 or $500 in the 80s with what my dad was making, they wanted to make sure that we had fun, and that we had what we wanted. Always had a good bike. Always had cool toys, I was always into cowboy stuff, so I always had the best, holsters and, the
cap guns
and stuff like that, and it was a deal. Because this was when $1 could actually buy you something.
Yeah.
Anytime we went into Kmart, or because Walmart wasn't really around then, we went to Kmart or Target or something, my mom would always say, go pick you out something under $2, and you can have it.
Yeah.
Every fucking time.
Nice.
And and I remember things like that.
You guys were rich.
Yeah, $2 in the 80s, man. That was
I know, right? That's major money right there.
It was really cool, but it was every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's like a year's worth of sugar babies.
And we'd always go out one night a week.
Yeah, go eat. Yeah, we did too.
Mostly Denny's and stuff.
We did
I didn't care.
Burger Chalet in Corpus, or Whataburger.
It was usually Denny's or Grandy's. Yeah. That's where we would go.
What my parents did that I thought was kind of fun was that my parents, they usually my dad had multiple jobs. My mom had multiple jobs to get by. Yeah. And, they would always kind of work the schedule. So I had one parent at home at least. But they would find cool jobs. Like my dad worked, he would be a college student. He would work at 3M as a sales guy, but he'd also work at 7-Eleven or something. So I could go to 7-Eleven with my friends and be like, my dad works at 7-Eleven. Oh, sweet, we're going to look at comic books. Blah, blah, blah. And, because back then it was like, you look at comic books, like, get away from there, kids, you got to buy stuff. My dad's like, nah, whatever, just fucking read them. So we'd sit there for 3-4 hours reading comic books in 7-Eleven, and then get free candy and be out the door. And it wasn't free. He'd be paying for it. But for us, it was free, So, and then, it was like, my dad would always, like, they had the need a penny, got a penny thing. He'd grab all the pennies out, get a quarter. It's like, go play some video games or whatever,
Nice.
Because there was like a 7-Eleven that was right next to an old, used to be a car salesman place. So it had that one building with the overhang and all the parking lot, but it was a video game arcade. So we'd go in there and play video games, and it was a blast.
Oh, yeah.
And he was friends with the video game guy, so he's like, hook my kid up, and we get like free Pac-Man for a day. It was awesome,
Well, my dad, one of the times when he had 3 jobs, I was like 15, 16. I might have been 16 or 17, because I was working in the mall. And there was a arcade in the mall, and my dad worked there on Friday and Saturday nights.
Nice.
And apparently he would draw credits based on how much he would sell over the night and stuff like that. because it was kind of a scam. It was kind of like if you wanted $5 in quarters, you had to pay like $6.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the extra money, how much extra money he could get from selling coins, he got credit cards, whatever, say, prepaid cards for video games. And he'd call, we'd be at the house on Friday bored, and he'd be like, I got $20 in cards. You guys want to come up? So we'd go up to the mall. He'd give us the cards, and back then, for $20, you could play in a freaking arcade
forever.
And it was awesome, so it was cool. Yeah, he would do stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
That was good times. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good times. My mom worked at Whataburger for a while, the original Whataburger in Corpus Christi.
Wow.
She'd bring home Whataburger and fries. Like, oh yeah, man, it was the jam. Like a whole bag full of fries, like fries.
See, my dad was really good at making connections. He was probably got my sales ability from him.
Yeah, me too.
Because he was very. You got it from my dad? That's cool.
From my dad.
Saying that.
From my dad. Yeah.
Anyway, so he would always work out trades and stuff. Well, he was real good friends with the general manager of Whataburger. And once a month, whatever, I don't know what they traded, but they'd trade something. And he would get a case of their hamburger patties.
Nice.
So we'd get real Whataburger hamburger patties.
Put them on the grill. And
eat that all weekend, just eating Whataburgers.
Nice.
It was great.
Yeah, it's cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
I had a fun childhood.
To our parents.
To our dads, yeah. My parents, yeah.
Quick downer moment, and we'll get back happy.
Yep.
Speaking of great dads, my brother is a great dad.
Yeah.
And he's going through some really bad stuff. So if you guys can keep him in your thoughts in a positive manner, I would appreciate that. He's got a kid, and his wife has 3 kids from another marriage, and he's been a dad to them as well. So
I lit a candle for your brother actually the other day.
I appreciate that.
I was over at in Nebraska, and I think it's Nebraska or Omaha. One of these. Well, there's a place called Holy Family Shrine, which is a really cool church over there. Yeah. You see it off the highway, and you got to stop because it's out there and it's really cool. And I was able to go in there and talk to the lady and have a good conversation with her. And I was like, "Can I go in there and light a candle?" She's like, "Yeah, just small donation." I'm like, "Fine, okay." So I lit a candle. That was cool. It was
for my brother.
Yeah, for your brother.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
thank you, buddy.
You're welcome, man.
That's awesome. So anyway, back to happy talk, but do keep him in your thoughts. I'd appreciate it.
Yes, for sure. So I was so depressed the other day. I'm just kidding.
Dude, I don't even remember Thursday. I was a basket case. And I appreciate you letting me call. And
no, it's
cry on your shoulder,
man. Friends are for, man.
I lost it with Todd. I lost it with you. I lost it with Matt.
Yeah.
I lost it with Nate. I was dehydrated by the time the day was over.
I believe it, man. I believe it.
Bad day. But he's getting better, hopefully, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. That's cool.
Okay, so you've been watching Fargo, right?
Yeah, I watched Fargo.
Or you watched the first season of Fargo?
I finished it. Yeah, it's really good.
What did you think? I know we've asked, but do I really need to? You know me and
you
how
need
little
to,
I hate
You
TV.
need to watch it.
How little I hate TV. I should watch this.
It's a little bit of a commitment. It's not that long. It's like 13 episodes or whatever. And it's a damn good show. Okay. It's really entertaining.
Close to the movie at all, or is it?
It has the feel of the movie with the way
it makes Macy character in it, or is it just a different character?
It's a different character, but it's pretty much the same. Right? Yeah. It's different, but it's
the same name,
really good. I don't even know. I haven't seen the movie in forever, but it's a really good show. I mean, it's really well made, and it keeps you enthralled, and the way that the show is structured is really good. So I think you'll dig it. Okay. Definitely worth a watch for sure.
All right, because I'm about to be done with Vagina Files.
Okay. Yeah, you should definitely watch Fargo.
And I'm taking a break from Wipeout because I've started being able to quote episodes of Wipeout. So I'm like, okay, I got to find something else to do. And Frasier.
Wow.
I'm already done with Frasier. I've done Frasier so many times.
Yeah.
I've done Friends so many times.
Yep.
I probably need to watch something new.
I would definitely recommend Fargo.
Okay.
For you.
Yeah.
And then maybe give Games of Thrones. I don't know. Might be your thing. I don't know.
CGI.
There's so many good stories in there though, and so many good actors. It's just a really good show.
Who did I see that was coming to Frightmare that I was shocked to find out? Will Sadler.
Yes.
Oh God, I've heard he's kind of a
douchebag. I don't want to hear that.
But
he was death on Bogus Journey.
He was in Shawshank. He's in a lot of the Jesse Stone movies. It's like, that dude's awesome.
I loved him, and I hated Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was horrible, but he was hilarious as death in that.
Yeah, he was. And he's one of those guys. He can play funny. He can play mean.
Like, best 2 out of 3. Damn right. So good.
And his character in the Jesse Stone movies is awesome, and it's based on a Parker character already, but he nails this character so well. So yeah. God, I hope we get to interview
I know.
Will Sadler.
God, we got to make some moves and make that happen, man.
He must be a recent ad because I didn't see him.
No, he was recent. Yeah, he was recent. Yeah.
What horror thing is he promoting?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I don't care, but whatever.
Well,
I'll go.
And I don't know if he's mean or anything, but a couple of interviews I read with it didn't sound like. But of course, you can't hear him, so you don't really know. He could be just being sarcastic or something. But they were asking him about Shawshank, and I said, what do you think about Shawshank? He goes, well, when I first read about it, I thought, one, what the hell's a Shawshank? And Redemption sounds like it's going to be religious. This is going to be the worst movie ever. Something to that effect.
Oh, wow.
It's the number one rated movie on IMDb.
I know, right? It's a good movie, but come on, number one rated?
I don't know. But a great movie. And he's an ass in that movie, too.
Mm-hmm.
God. But, yes, I'm more excited about seeing him than just about anybody there now.
Yeah.
Neff Campbell.
I hope she looks good. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Scream 4 was not that impressive.
No, it was not.
That was so depressing. I couldn't wait for Scream 4, and I was like, really?
Yep.
Really?
Oh, I heard an interesting podcast, and I'll bring it up because it was an interesting topic, about the difference between reality and perception of reality. They talked about it was really the podcast was about wrestling. Okay, but it was about why people like wrestling.
Like WWE wrestling?
Yeah, WWE, WWF, whatever, And it was basically that there's a definitive line between reality and fantasy, and that wrestling does it the best, where they cross that line. And it keeps people interested because there's the wrestling storyline, which is fake, but then they also bring in personalities into it, and they bring it into life stuff, and it becomes that you pull that curtain away from reality, from fantasy, and becomes reality. And they talked about the whole Bret Hart thing with him leaving WWE to go to Ted Turner's thing, the WCW, and all the bullshit that went along with that. And they talked about a documentary, which I have to watch now, about how he decided to leave and then became nothing because WCW didn't do anything. And then it became, WWE became a totally different thing because Vince McMahon became the bad guy. And it was interesting. And they talked about it in reference to movies too. And they're talking about movies that kind of skirted that line, and literature that skirted that line between fantasy and reality, and the whole thing about the unreliable storyteller. And oddly enough, they mentioned Don Quixote, which I had read recently because my daughter was reading it for school, and I was like, I remember reading that and liking it as a kid, so I read it again because she was reading it, and I'm like, I want to read it and see what she thinks.
Oh my God!
You never read Don Quixote?
No,
dude, Don Quixote is awesome.
Okay, John Lytle is like us and stuff.
Yeah.
And he gave up on it after 300 pages. He doesn't give up on anything. If he thinks it's good,
you know why? Well, okay.
Because he kept going back and kept going
No,
back
but he does. But it's hilarious because it's just, given when it was written in the 1600s or whatever, the fact that you had, no one's ever told a story like that before, where it's like, this is about this man, but we don't know if this man really existed, but these are all the stories about this man, so I'm going to put them together in a story and try and tell you about this man.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the play.
Yeah. So it's just, exactly, yeah. So it's just that whole, the fact that he tells all these like great tales about him, and then like, but this is what this guy said. It's like a totally different tale. And then there's something, I remember this point when I read the book when I was a kid, was that there was like this great battle that's supposed to happen, and then like it ends. He's like, and that's all I have on this story. And the next chapter is about something totally different. And you're like, what?
So is that where Forrest Gump got? And that's all I got to say about that.
That's exactly where he got that from. And they were talking about movies and stuff that skirted that line and that were successful and weren't successful. And they talked about like the only horror movie that really did this. Nightmare, the New Nightmare. They talked about how New Nightmare skirted they brought it up. Yeah. It was like, this movie did it, but it didn't do it successfully. It's a good movie and people should watch it. But they, it was at a point where people, existed for Freddy, and it's like Freddy broke the fourth wall all the time and became this like crazy character that was just wild. But they seemed, I guess they broke it too much and made it tried to turn it into reality, and it didn't work. But I was just like, oh man, now I got to watch New Nightmare again.
It worked for me.
It worked for me too.
I mean, it was great.
I was so done with the series at that time. I was like, oh, fine, I'll watch
I never
it.
really liked it to begin with. I was okay with it. I just, I'd watch every new one, but that's it. But yeah, when that one came out, I was like,
yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
And I liked how they bled into, like, Robert Englund all of a sudden could sense that Freddy was getting ready to take over. There was a Stephen King book. They did a movie out of it. It was horrible. called The Dark Half.
Yeah, The Dark Half was bad. Yeah,
but the book is awesome.
The book is awesome. Yeah, I remember the book.
It's just kind of he's a writer and he writes this one character. And now this character's kind of starting to take over his own psyche. It was like really well done in the book. And
yeah,
Timothy Hutton couldn't really.
I like Timothy Hutton too. That's why I watched the movie. I was like, I like Timothy Hutton. He's cool. Hopefully he has a comeback. And didn't work. Yeah,
it didn't work at all.
Didn't work. Yeah. But yeah, so you should definitely. There's a documentary about Bret Hart and all the weird stuff he does. So it's pretty interesting stuff. But we are getting to the end of the show. So what do you think of the?
It's a nice stick.
Yeah, it's a good stick.
It is. Yeah, absolutely.
Cheapy stick. Tasty.
This would be good in the car driving to.
Hell yeah.
All the places smoke.
I don't smoke my car, but yeah. Okay, so where can you find us?
iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podcast Land, Podomatic, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And I'm at Randy Rankin 43 on Twitter.
Captain Funky Pants on Twitter.
At Cigar Deep Nate, if you want to follow him for any whatever reason. We're Calypso Cigar Review on Facebook. Give us a like there. I am AJF Randy on Instagram.
I am PDR_Brandon on Instagram.
And like us, people.
Yep, and give us comments, for Christ's sake. We never get comments.
Yeah,
comments.
Even if you think we suck, that's fine.
Comments! Make the comments!
If you think we suck, that's cool. It gives us a chance to either say, fuck you, or to say, hey, thanks for the tip.
Tell us why we suck.
Yeah.
Then maybe we'll still say fuck you, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
As always, it's been great smoking with you.
See you later, Brandon.
See you later, Randy. Okay.